welcome to Week 8 here in Reddit League. We have an interesting matchup for you today in Division 3 between TheosZA and PatriotsFTW. My name is Zatomo, and I'm joined as always by my co-commentator Calamity. Calamity, what is the capital of Turkey?
Ankara, not Istanbul.
Ankara. Yeah. I can't even make a joke. I was like,
nope.
Because you're telling me you got to ask me different questions at the beginning of the video, and I was like, oh, capital of a country is, and then I thought of city names, and I was like, this isn't working. I should just
it's a good
ask
idea though.
Doing.
Just ask me capital of a country at the start of every episode or every cast.
There you go. Yeah. I should write down countries ahead of time because apparently I can't just spontaneously think of a country name.
What is a country? Shit.
Crap. Countries. I kept thinking of capitals, not countries of which to ask for the capital. So that was my problem. But anyway, yeah, we've got a great matchup here between two competitors pretty much at opposite ends of the table, Calamity, fighting for very different things here as we get towards the end of the regular season.
Yeah, Theos and Patriots, they're not too far away from average in terms of average points. It's pretty low for both of them, but Division 3 has also had pretty mediocre seeds over the course of the season so far. Theos' best game is a bit worrying. For him to not even have a game above 24,000 points after 7 weeks is not a good show. I'd actually have to look at if there are many people that have a best game that's lower than that, but I'll maybe do that when we have a bit of time during the video. Both on the same amount of aces though, so Patriots may be struggling a bit with that. Only 7 aces over the course of those 7 weeks. 1 a week, averages out. But yeah, Patriots, just in terms of position, he's doing a lot better. Patriots was promoted from Division 4 last season, and Theos, was promoted from Division 4 in his first season. So they both have similar experiences with Reddit League in the past, at least, and know how to get promoted. But yeah, Theos, he actually had a decent season last season, but did get a bit lucky at times, I think. So I think this is more his skill level, sort of still in Division 3, but maybe towards the lower middle of the table, rather than fighting for promotion as it was last season.
Yeah, Patriots doing very well in his first season here in Division 3. Only 1 loss, and definitely be seeing if he can't, with a win here, maybe guarantee a good shot at promotion to Division 2. While the fight at the top is quite competitive, we'll see how they do. And our map this week is Italy. Author 5AI, average score of about 14,000, so we shouldn't be looking for many too high scores here. Over 150,000 locations, which is pretty typical for a polygon map, not hand-picked. It's been played just over 2,000 times. Yeah, Italy, not the nicest of locations, Calamity. As anybody who's watched our videos know, we both are not huge fans of it. Is there anybody in particular you might think will come out on top on this one?
Hard to tell, just purely based on performances so far. You have to favor Patriots. I think he was unbeaten last season. At most, he had 1 loss. I think he was unbeaten though, and only 1 loss so far this season. And I think he didn't do too well in the other European map in Belgium that we had this season. But Theos himself, being from South Africa, doesn't really have much in terms of prior knowledge with Italy, presumably. So they're starting off even there, and then just going off of skill, you gotta favor Patriots. But I was just looking through the best games of all the people across all the divisions, and I think there's 4 people in all of Reddit League who have a lower best game than Theos does. So yeah, it is really on the lower end.
Yeah, so might prove difficult here, but who knows? Italy can always be a bit of a unique monster to challenge in Geoguessr. As we jump into round number 1, we will see who can come out on top in this competition. Neither of them recording in full screen, which makes it interesting for us to try to read the numbers on their screens. And we start off in a forested location. Quite interesting.
Quite unique. And yeah, you said earlier
Sorry,
about
I
how
do have to get Theos's video here to somehow record in a higher resolution. There we go.
yeah, I was thinking as well. I can read Patriots somewhat, but Theos seems very blurry. But yes, now that you've actually set the quality higher, I can read that as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
YouTube almost always opens the video in 1080, but for some reason it didn't load it in 1080. It loaded it in 480, so I had to adjust it when I realized it was not very clear.
mm.
But sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you said a lot of competitors not liking Italy, except if you're Italian. That was just my point. We do have 4 Italians, none of them that we can show you because I don't think any of them record. But at the same time, they probably are very happy about this week. And Fierce actually saw both of them have made it to a village at this point, and Fierce saw a sign towards Catanzaro. If you've watched the Division 4 cast, or alternatively, if you've practiced Italy or know a couple of cities, you'll realize that is a sizable city down on the southern coast.
Yeah, that's something they can use.
There's another sign for it.
Patriots. Yeah, Patriots did see a few city names, but he is at least right now thinking we're more towards the northern part of the country. Separate. Vincenzo does record in Division 5,
Oh, yeah,
Calamity,
right.
but very few other people do, so we won't have a chance to see that matchup.
I was thinking of Division 3 and 4 with Freckles and Steal the Snick, and then I was struggling to think of who the people in Division 5 were who were Italian. But yeah, of course, Vincenzo and Danny Blondes is the other one.
A provincial road for Patriots there, SP66, but again, very small, not really good for at least early pinpointing. Now, there we go. Patriots will adjust as he knows that city is in the general area. But lots of good signs, Calamity. I'm actually quite surprised by this. Maybe a little bit nicer of a draw for Division 3 here this week in Italy. But again, no real distances, which is always a fun thing.
Yeah, it's a very, very Italian thing. Just give you 17 different cities that are somewhere around you. Good luck figuring out where and how far they are. But yeah, it actually ended up being quite a bit easier than it looked at first, with us spawning in the middle of the woods. But oh, there we go. Fierce finally spotted Catanzaro. And now it looks like they'll both not be too far off.
So now is when that SP number will come into effect. They are in a small enough area, so there we go. Theos gets SP 64. We've seen 66 on Patriots screen in the past, so hopefully he didn't forget that. And they will be scanning for those small village names as well as that provincial road number.
I'm actually curious if either of them will find it, because yeah, as I've said previously, it's not guaranteed that it actually does show up.
Yeah, so even if the road, while you're on Street View, says this is a road number, it doesn't mean that there actually is it labeled on the map. Patriots and Theos will run out of time there. 4,783 for Patriots and 4,588 for Theos. So both of them relatively close, but not able to quite find that village. Again, it looks like, as you can see where that pin actually is on Theos' screen there, Calamity, those numbers don't show up.
Which is why I recommend as well in Italy, don't look for those provincial roads generally, unless it's really your only option. You have got nothing else. But Fias did see Decoratura, which is on his screen there, on a sign previously. So if you had looked for that, maybe you would have found that more easily than a road number that's just not there.
Yeah, they definitely had enough information where they could have started to try to look for some of those smaller village names, but unfortunately running out of time before they managed to do it. I think actually Theos might have found a village he thought was the correct one And that's why he spent most of his time trying to find a street name, but didn't quite work out for him there,
Either he found
unfortunately.
that, or he found a provincial road with the right name in the wrong place. Let me actually quickly look at their seed. If I can find Theos, there he is. No. Oh, yes, actually, there is an SP64 around where he guessed. Just not really anywhere close to the right location.
Oh, after only one seed, Calamity, the joys of Italy have already revealed themselves.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's jump into round 2 and see if the roads will be in the right spot this time. Come on, Italy.
It might just happen to be a different province, maybe.
Yeah, might have. Is it across a provincial line? That would be interesting. And another small little village in the meantime here.
It doesn't look like it, to be honest.
Probably just weirdly labeled. There are quite a few big cities right there for Theos, and if Deep Thought heads in the same direction, he will see. Oh, sorry, Patriots. Oh yeah, he wiggles his mouse, says, "Hey, we're here somewhere." At least that's what he thinks.
Isn't Bastia on Corsica?
Well, yeah, there's Perugia, and that was on his screen. He zoomed in a little bit now. And it's to the sort of north, if you can trust it. And Theos also already has a much better sign with Roma in the A1 to help him out. He's also got not two, they're the same number. SS75, so a national road.
Yeah, and as we know, though, all roads lead to Rome, so that sign is not helpful. But generally, these highways do connect two cities. So in this case, Firenze or Florence and Rome. So you know you're somewhere between those two, probably.
Yeah, I think they've both got the area down pretty much. So on to figuring out what the name of this little village is.
Yeah, they've both actually seen it already. It's Bastia. Theos only saw Bastia. Patriots saw Bastia U dot. So he knows a slightly more.
It looks like he did put his pin on that.
Bastia Umbria.
He will look to try to find some street names now down to that level with just over a minute and a half to go. Theos, though, not as lucky, still looking for a bit of a clue. As he heads into a parking lot, that's not going to be helpful.
Yeah, I think I remember this location actually being pretty... No, it's not that difficult. I was thinking of a different one. We'll see if I can remember that later on. This one's not too difficult to pinpoint, but you need to look in the right place for it.
I still got about a minute left for both of them looking for more information. Patriots has lots of road names he can use, but he hasn't quite figured out where that might be in town. He thinks he's towards sort of the northern part. And there's a good sign. That's the sign that most of us will recognize to figure out what town you're in.
Yeah.
Bastia Umbria there. He's got to zoom in more than that. You shouldn't need to be looking that far afield. With only 30 seconds left, he definitely needs to zoom in more and not that far away from all those towns he knows he's close by.
Yeah. The problem is, as we did say previously, you never know how far away you are. But if you were as far away as Theos is looking, you'd have signs to different places, which kind of is the indication you want to tell you where you should be looking.
Yeah, Patriots will guess a little bit early, knowing that he has indeed found the road and will get an ace. So very nice from him there. Those signs paying off. But I think Theos just not confident in his actual location. Now, he won't do too poorly. 4,640 for him, but given the information he had, he could have definitely done better if he just been a little bit more confident where his pin was and had zoomed in more to try to find that village name.
Yeah,
Calamity.
he didn't even have to zoom in much more. Bastia Umbra actually shows up pretty big on the map. He was just so unsure about how close to Perugia he was that he really looked all over the place, which didn't make that much sense. As I said earlier, if you were that far away, you'd see other big cities first on signs, then you'd see Perugia. But yeah, in the end, at least he stuck with his pin somewhere close to Perugia and didn't lose too many points there.
Yeah, his safety pin, so to speak, definitely paid off for him there, keeping him in the race as we get into round number 3. He's only down by about 560 odd points, somewhere in there. So definitely still doable. 9,783 total for Patriots, 9,228 for Theos. And another urban location. So Italy actually being quite nice to these two after 3 rounds.
Yeah, this is probably the easiest round of all the seeds we had. First of all, because you spawn next to a football stadium of one of the bigger clubs in Italy. Both of them seem to completely ignore that. But if you didn't ignore that already pretty much tells you exactly where you are. I think I needed like 20 seconds to figure out where exactly I am, and then just the rest of, I don't know, the 1-2 minutes I took to pinpoint exactly. Yeah, I had 1 minute and 8 seconds on that round for an ace, and most
hope
of
they
that
jump back because I didn't see a stadium
right next to them at the start. And
well, there's a village name for Theos.
City name.
Well, also
pretty big.
Yeah, city, I guess. Also Napoli, at least the region might be helpful for deep thought there. Bank of Napoli.
Yeah, and Patriots is also seen like pretty close to the start. A couple of seconds in, he saw Crotone on a sign, so he should know where we are as well.
And Theos has got the city.
Yep.
There we go. So he's able to use that overpass and that city exit information. So it's not a bad strategy for him. He has, when he's
there's the stadium, by the way,
gotten down to the village. Yeah, which is annoying. It's a recent change in Geoguessr, where when you go back to the start, it zooms out of the map all the way again.
It's a bug that happens sometimes.
Yeah. Patriots looking on Sicily here. That's not.
It doesn't.
I don't know.
Doesn't seem to know the city.
Yeah, and I don't know what he would have seen that would have pointed him there. Maybe he's just doing some elimination here.
Yeah. Pierce is now in the right place. You can see the stadium on the map as well.
What's the team? Because we know
Crotone.
the city now.
I think it's just FC Crotone.
Oh, okay. I don't follow Italian Serie A too closely, but I
think they're a Serie B team.
That might be one.
No, never mind. The Serie A.
Really?
Yep. They got promoted last season.
Oh.
And this season got relegated again. So actually, depending on when you watch this, they are a Serie B team.
Jumping back to the start made me think there for a second the round was over. You're paying close to time. Theos again having to zoom all the way in. That bug really messing with him there.
If you have the bug, it won't won't disappear for the rest of the round. So you should really do as little going back to the start as possible.
Yeah, and Theo's doing a really good job with, according to Calamity, one of the easiest locations across the divisions this week, given the landmarks and point of interest to help you pinpoint, and he will pick up an ace here. But Patriots is in the right town, so he won't drop too many points. And if he pays attention to that stadium and whatnot as well, he should get an ace. Got 25 seconds left now. So
if he goes back to the start again, he'll be zoomed out all the way. And he'll have to zoom in again. He still doesn't really seem to notice the big stadium behind him.
Yeah, maybe not. But he knows we are west of the roundabout, headed east towards it, and that will help him adjust. And he'll drop 4 points, not quite close enough. 4,996 points for Patriots. So Theos will pick up 4 points, Calamity, but again, still got a little bit of work to do here.
Yep, just 4 points. That in and of itself won't be enough. But yeah, it's a start. Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I got to start somewhere. Every point matters. We did see a game last week, right, where 7 points was the difference between a draw and a loss. So definitely every point matters for them as we quickly jump into round number 4 to see what they can do and start off on a bridge, which is usually very nice for pinpointing.
And just one more thing about last round, because I said it was the easiest round. There were 12 people who got 5,000 points within 2 minutes.
Yeah, so definitely seems to stack up. And there's Roma.
Yep.
So as well as some nice road signs.
In this case, though, as we said before, it was this video with Bastia. The black dots in the middle, surrounded by those black circles, means that this is the city you're going to enter. Meaning in this case, for once, you're actually close to Roma, and it's not just a sign 10,000 kilometers away pointing to it.
Mm-hmm. But both of them figuring that out. We'll zoom in. Now they've got some exits.
I kind of like via Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton. Yeah. Yeah, with it in Italian, with everything ending in vowels, it just sounds funny coming from a language that doesn't have vowels at the end of everything. Isaac Newton in English, right? But again, plenty of information, and Italy doesn't appear to have exit numbers, at least for this highway. Oh, there's a kilometer marker an A number for Theos, which will definitely help him.
I think you might be right. I don't remember seeing exit numbers.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of street names that what is on this exit. It doesn't give you a lot of actual numerical clues.
They don't have exit numbers, but they have exit names, so to speak.
Okay.
So every exit is named after something. I don't really know what specifically. If it's named after a town that's close, or just has a random name.
Yeah. Theos looking in the southwest of Rome. Patriots has his pin more northeast, but has been checking out the southwest.
Yeah.
Been thinking about it. He took one of those exits, Calamity, as you advised. Try to see what else he can find that might help him out here.
I mean, I advised that in the US, in California, not necessarily in Italy.
Theos with about a minute left, remembering that we did start on a bridge.
Yeah, I was about
as he goes back to the start.
To mention that as well. We started on a bridge, actually west of Rome, and there's only 2 bridges west of Rome, along the river. So it's not that difficult to find. Can then just take a bit to confirm whether that really is the right bridge. But yeah, yes,
he will guess early and pick up an ace. Very nice for him. So at least he's doing his part to try to come back and close that ground against Patriots. And it seems with 30 seconds left, it might be this round where he picks up some points. It won't be many because Patriots is outside of Rome, but he is looking in the opposite end of Rome.
Yeah, Patriots seems to have completely forgotten that we started on a big bridge over a big river.
As well as the road numbers. It might be because he sees the airport, but Rome has more than one airport. So
yeah.
He seems frustrated that none of this looks right, and with that, it should have given him a clue. He should have looked somewhere else around the city, and time will expire. Oh, really? 4,520 points. That's a huge drop for being on the wrong end of town, Calamity.
Yeah, as you said, it didn't look right. That's because it wasn't right. And yeah, but you saw Theos had similar distances in the round 1 and round 2. I think it was 14 kilometers in round 1 and 11 in round 2 or something like that. And
Mhm.
for Patriots now it was 9 miles. How much is that in kilometers? Something like 14 as well? 14, 15?
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
so yeah, similar distance. It just feels like a bigger drop off because you're still in the right city, but Rome is just so
Mhm.
big that, well, being in the right city itself isn't enough to get a really good score.
Yeah, it can always be a little bit deceiving when you're like, "Hey, we're near Rome," but something like that. It's so big, you're actually further away than some of your other guesses. Even though
Mm.
you thought you were probably closer than they were with that. So yeah, well, there we go. As we get into round number 5, our last round, uh, Theos pulling it very, very close, not quite making the comeback. Patriots 19,299, Theos 19,228. So he is within that 100 points as of right now, Calamity, but there's still a round to play.
Yeah, but if he does get a perfect score or very close to it, he has secured himself a draw at least, which against one of the favorites for promotion would be a great result for him.
Yeah, definitely, and will definitely show the field that he deserves to be in this division, and he'll put his marker on Sardinia. Maybe
Hmm.
picking up on some geography clues there that we might be on the island. Some cactuses, that's a very interesting site in Italy.
Hmm.
I think they literally both just hit the same spot and then went back to the start. Was I
Potentially,
wrong?
yes. I wasn't paying that much attention. I knew, like, I know they both went back to the start relatively close to each other, but if it
They
was a
they
exact
both were
spot,
at cactuses when they pushed the button, and they are literally mimicking each other move by move,
yeah,
which is
that
quite
looked odd. Where they both literally
yeah.
did the exact same camera movement, even and looked around the
Okay,
exact same way.
maybe they're splicing each other's footage here as their own. It's a little weird, but now they will diverge, so thank goodness we can tell them apart again.
Mm.
Heading down very different roads, similar directions, but on different roads here. And this round, yeah, very sparse of information, Calamity, so definitely wide open for either one of them.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if either of them will find anything whatsoever. They've still got 2 more minutes left.
Yeah, from how you said that, and maybe nobody found much information whatsoever on this one.
I didn't.
Yeah, lots of poorly paved or dirt roads. Not the most promising sites when you're looking for road signs.
Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't.
but Theos, as I say that, will hit a paved and painted road.
Hmm, it's something.
Yeah. It's one thing I didn't really pay attention to. Oh, there we go. SS 198. That'll definitely help him out, as well as a kilometer marker. Let's see if his earlier guess of the island is in fact right. But something I've been paying more attention to in my games. If I'm on a paved and painted road, don't leave it.
Yep, it's
It's
a good idea.
at least not for anything less than that. If it's another painted road, okay, but you're on a pretty highly maintained road that will have much more promise down the line than anything else you might deviate to.
Pierce had a couple problems here. First problem being he wasn't really that confident about Sardinia, which is why he went and looked for those SS-198 in other places as well. And then he decided to stop looking for it and go try to find more information, which again, not the choice I would have taken, because at that point you're unlikely to find much better information. So you might as well go all in on it. And we'll see if he can find it in the end.
Yeah, Patriots also putting his marker on Sardinia, but not seeing any road numbers either. And the time will run out, and they're almost
Oh,
not too
Pierce has
far
found
apart.
it. Pierce has
Theos has
found the
got
road.
it. And that will do it. That will be enough for him. 4,151 points. Not the best guess in the world, but all you've got to do, Calamity, is beat your opponent, and he does. Patriots 4,083 points. So not only does he make up his small little. Wait a minute. Is he still within draw range as I
Yes.
hyped myself up?
He was he was about 70
23,379.
points back before, and he made up about 70 points now, so he's 3 points behind Patriots.
He's 3 points. I thought it was enough. I'm sorry, Theos. I got all hyped up about it. And it will be a draw. Only 3 points, though. So not bad at all, especially given that first round where it was a bit rough. He does manage to come back with a couple aces and get a draw. So
Yeah, I would actually say quite lucky on Patriots' part in the end there. I don't know if he knows that that specific area of Sardinia looks like that. In that case, it's obviously not luck, but just knowledge. But it didn't really seem like he had much of an idea of where in Sardinia it was. And he didn't get any information whatsoever. So he might as well have lost that game as well if he didn't get so close with his guess there.
yeah, maybe just I know that the kind of eastern side of maybe Sardinia looks like that, so just throw down a pin, and just sometimes luck keeps you in it. So at least for Patriots, he will pick up a point, and with 23,000 might be enough to earn him a bonus point. Calamity
Let me
in the
quickly
week.
check.
Yeah, we can check that out on
There
the score sheet here.
are wait. Yes, bonus points for both of them.
Okay, so they'll both pick up 2 points, which means Patriots will definitely still be in that playoff race for promotion there, and which means also that Theos will keep himself out of the relegation fight for another week. But unfortunately, not really going to move up too much. Only picking up 2 points. I think people around him will be able to stay even with him on that. So yeah, well, thank you all for watching. We'll have a couple more matches from you here in Italy, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.